Hi, it's Mary, a traditional Chinese medicine tutor and an acupuncturist in Canada.
Today's video discusses full, large, and thready pulse and its differentiations.
By pulse shape and momentum, we will differentiate the full pulse, large pulse, and the thready pulse.
Full pulse.
Full pulse is marked by wide size and full content, beating powerfully like rolling waves. The waves go over, rolling very high, like rising tide forcefully up with momentum, but decline like ebbing tide less forcefully. Sometimes we call it surging pulse to describe the momentum of the pulse movement. The full pulse has the following features. 1. The pulse depth is superficial. 2. The pulse shape is long and wide. 3. The pulse is floating, big and forceful under all three fingers in Chun, Guan, and Chi. 4. The pulse comes like the rising tide, surging and very strong, and it declines like the ebbing tide, slower and weaker than the coming one. It indicates the excessive heat. Excessive heat belongs to yang. If it's excess heat, it means abandoned yang. Abandoned yang forcefully pushing outwards. The heat expands the vessel, so you can feel the vessel is large. The size is wide because there's a yang. Yang going outwards makes the vessel bigger, so you feel the wide size and the full content. A lot of blood go underneath. There's a full content of blood beating like rolling waves. You will feel how it comes and how it goes. For example, a full pulse can be seen in Yang channel syndrome in cold-induced external disease or qi level syndrome in warm heat disease. When a disease develops to this stage, there is an excessive yang qi accumulated inside the body, and the internal heat expands. The vital qi is not weakened at this stage, and it rises to fight against the pathogenic qi. The struggle between the vital qi and the pathogen is intense. At this time, the blood vessels will be expanded, the qi will be strong, and the blood will surge, showing the characteristics of a full pulse. Usually, in addition to a full pulse, Yang channel syndrome and warm heat disease at the qi level syndrome are often accompanied by the so-called 4 big: entire body hot, profuse sweating, and extreme thirst. Those accompanying symptoms help to differentiate a full pulse. And also you can see the full pulse in summer because yang qi in summer is abandoned with the yang qi. The sweat pores are open, becomes loose. Therefore, the pulse is a little bit more full and large.
Large pulse.
The large pulse is large in width. The size is big, but not surging. We can differentiate it with the full pulse. Like the full pulse, the large pulse comes very strong, long and wide in pulse shape, and feels full and large under all fingers. Unlike the full pulse, the large pulse does not have the floating and forceful characteristics of the full pulse, and it does not have the surging momentum. A large pulse, but in harmony, can be seen in healthy people. The large pulse, but in harmony, again, when we say in harmony, we're talking about stomach qi. Remember, we say the harmony ones, the even speed, even rhythm. The speed are moderate. When the people are healthy, you likely see a large pulse, which manifests a strong and healthy physique. But sometimes you see it in a disease where the disease is getting worse. There's two situations. First, the pulse is large but rapid and excessive as well. This one usually comes from excessive pathogenic factors. There's excessive pathogenic factors. You see large, rapid, and excess pulse. Another type is large and forceless pulse. large and forceless. They don't match. This is caused by a deficiency of healthy qi, indicates the condition is worsening. For example, the deficient yang floating outwards. When the yang floating outwards, the pulse becomes large because of the floating yang, but it's forceless. That situation usually indicates the condition is worsening.
Thready Pulse.
The thready pulse refers to the width of the vessel is narrow and fine, but clearly perceptible by the finger. It looks like the sewing thread. The thready pulse is narrow in width. It is thin, straight, soft, and feels like touching silk threads. Here is the comparison between the full pulse and the thready pulse. The full pulse and the thready pulse are two pulses with opposite shapes and strengths, so they are often compared. The full pulse is large, long, and wide with strong momentum, while the thready pulse is small, narrow, and relatively shorter with weak momentum. Thready pulse usually suggests a deficiency of both qi and blood. Blood deficiency cannot fill vessels, and qi deficiency cannot impel blood circulation, making the pulse thready, small, and forceless. Attention please. A thready pulse can not only indicate a deficiency syndrome, but can occur in excess syndrome. A thready pulse may be seen when vessels and qi and blood circulation are blocked by pathogenic dampness. As dampness pathogen is sticky and can block the vessel and the qi and blood movement. When the dampness blocks the vessel, you see thready pulse. Thready pulse can indicate dampness syndrome. There's another type, it's the physiological thready pulse, can be seen in winter when the cold weather contracts vessel, so the pulse is a little thready and deep. If the sixth pulse, the 寸关指 both hands, are thready pulse without any manifestations of disease, it's called a sixth yin pulse, a sign of harmony between qi and blood. Please note that when taking certain vasoconstrictor substances, which cause the blood vessels to contract to a thready-like state, a thready and forceful pulse can present. However, it often has a wire-like characteristic, thus appearing as a thready and wiry pulse. If you find this video helpful, please give me a like, subscribe to it, and share it with others. See you in my next video. All the best!